Welcome everybody to the post-game show. Texas loses by a lot to Georgia. That was a fun one. But this is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. I'm joined by Nick from Nino's Corner. Go check his channel out on YouTube. And of course, Drew Kelson. If you see that picture over his shoulder right there, that's him playing in that their national championship game. I don't think we're really at that level anymore.
Right now.
Nah, not right now, but we were there. First things first, guys, head over to Inside Texas. You can join for just $1 for your first month. We would love to have you over there. Comment, I'm sure the game thread is a lot of fun right now, but join, come hang out. It's fun. Maybe not right now, but it usually is pretty fun. All right, Texas loses to Georgia handedly, just kind of across the board. We will discuss what we think we saw there. Any big thoughts, first things first, before we fire everybody?
All right.
Nothing big outside of, for me, it's we are who we've been. We've seen improvements throughout the season. I think even tonight we saw opportunities to improve. We just didn't execute on them. So, this is the same team that went on the road and struggled in overtime. This is the same team that struggled in the season against, some inferior opponents. When the defense, started slow and actually gave the offense with 5 or more drives, gave them the ball back to try to get some momentum or get them, get on the board, and they just didn't execute on it. So, at the end of the day, this is one of those games that we would have won. I would have been shocked. I thought it would be closer, but at the same time, if we would have won, we would have just pretended all these other blind spots and issues didn't linger. It would have had more to do with Georgia falling short than it would have been with us just being something we haven't seen all year. So we are where we are, and we will get it fixed.
Nick?
Yeah, man. So this team can have the highest of highs and they can have the lowest of lows, right? So they can have a ceiling that is just great, with all the talent that's here. But this team's problem is we just don't know where their floor is. And their floor can be the lowest floor for the SEC. And then sometimes it could be, at a mid-level, but this team's just been hard to figure out this entire season. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, the entire season. Sometimes we look good, sometimes we don't. And there's honestly just like no continuity from week to week just to see how this team is going to progress, man. So, yeah, that's all I got.
Last week was fun, right?
Yeah.
Playoffs, all that.
It's
I knew it was
week.
coming. I knew it, but it was just like, I'm not going to ruin the party, And so it's just not a great team, It'll generally beat teams that it's better than, but it's just, the defense isn't what we thought or hoped for going in either. So, yeah, it is what it is there. What's up, Nash?
What's up, Nash?
Nash in the alternate reality. Nash is like, got the dub. We're doing all good. Yeah, I think you're muted, Nash. As he's pouring up. So my thing was penalties, drops, special teams, other factors, but this is kind of the SEC championship. Like, this is just kind of, it felt similar to that, didn't come out ready to play. And, had a little bit of fight, I guess, in the second half, but Georgia's better coach team. And when it was time to get some momentum going and shut the door on them, we want to jump off sides and then let them go down and score. To me, the game was over at that point. That's what better teams do. They answer immediately like that, and they go, your hope is crushed. We just don't really do that at Texas. The one game that stands out that we did that successfully was Alabama years ago. But just at that, there's good, there's great, and then there's that next tier. And I just don't think we're there.
You said it. I think, people are like, oh, we lost to Kirby and lost to Georgia. Georgia owns us. We lost them the last 3 times. It's like, well, they were better the last 3 times. Like, they literally were just better. Did we play to a certain extent? They gave us opportunities? Of course. Like, we had opportunities to win those games, but they're just better, like, just flat out. And so that's really what needs to be the takeaway here, is what needs to be done to get better. Talk about schemes and everything else. I think it starts with bodies. You need the right bodies. To run the baseline of what you want to do, you need the right bodies. If we say we want to run the ball, we need to make sure we don't compromise on that in the offseason and make sure we have everything we need to execute on that. Sometimes coaches, and I get it, they take far more pride in developing players instead of just saying, hey, you know what?
Think we lost you there, Drew.
Yeah, we lost Drew.
Can
you hear us?
I got you.
Okay, you're frozen, but we can hear you a little bit. I think you're coming back. But you were saying we need the bodies, and if we say we want to be a 12 personnel team, you should probably get blocking tight ends.
Then go get what you need. Stop trying to develop it. Like just have competition in the offseason. Make sure all guys are competing for roles. Doesn't matter what you're paying them. Like, go get guys. That's in the running back room. That's wide receivers. That's offensive line. That's bodies all across the board. DBs too. So just comes down to that.
What do you have any thoughts on off-field coaching? I know you're a player, so players are all like, players got to execute, man. But like,
I mean, there are obvious things that aren't in sync. I mean, even when you change, we switch coaches sometimes, and we plug and play these guys. And I think we've been able to succeed across the D line, in a sense, in that way. But at DB, we can't pretend that just hasn't had an impact just on the way that we played, the soundness of it, especially with the talent we had coming back. It just that's really been the tough space right now. And it's not so much that they aren't talented enough. And yes, they've had some issues, in coverage or some issues just making, but the main thing is they're not making.
He said not making plays. I think he froze again.
I know. Chat, what do you guys think? Penalties is the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, here's my thing. I think the Akina hire was a mistake, bluntly. I don't think the DBs look good. I think they're out of position. Some of that is scheme. Bobo will do that to you, but there's a reason that Bobo decided to target that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think the Akina experience, the fan hire and all that was a mistake. And then you'll need some changes there. And then as far with like Sark, the scheme was all right. But I just think there's something to being a head coach.
Yep.
And thinking 100% about the game from the mindset of a head coach and not thinking as a play caller all the time. Because when Sark's, going up against some head coaches, he's getting beat in head coaching. So it's not like his scheme was bad or anything like that. But to me, I think it's time to hand that off or give it to a protege or whatever, because I just want my head coach thinking about the totality of the game 100% of the time on the field. That's a big factor for me. And I've had that argument weeks ago, and I secretly had it last year, but nobody was feeling that. What are you talking about, dude? We're trying to play for the national championship, but exactly. I think it's time to do that as well, because I've seen 5 years of data on this. I don't really need a 6th year of data. I don't need to see another top 5 team. It is what it is for me. Nash, are you there, brother?
No, I mean, I would say I probably am not. My takeaway is I'm honestly not that down after this game. I think that this is kind of the inverse of. No, we absolutely got beat. I'm not trying to run away from that, right? But this is. I just want to say that out first before I go any further. But this is this feels like the inverse of the Florida versus Texas game. We never felt like we're in that game. When you go and you look like Texas, we had the ball. We got the ball back after that Anthony Hill interception. Before that, we had forced 5 straight punts. We were back in that game. The wide receivers, they started to catch the football, right? In my opinion, my main takeaway is, holy shit, the massive stones that Kirby Smart has to be in his territory and to call a 4th and 1, right? And then on top of that, later on, we did jump off sides, right? So, but by all counts, they were running a play. right? They were about to run a play. It's not like we jumped off sides and then snap. Let me clap the no. They were snapping the ball, right? So like there was just a lot of stone. Like chips were all in on that drive, and then to follow that up with an onside kick, man. I mean, like it's just to me, like that's where the entire game is right there in those 3 plays. Because that's when everything just went out the window and the momentum completely reversed from Texas had all the momentum on the game to all of a sudden now it was Georgia is losing their minds in the stands.
Nash, have you ever played a video game that you were really good at? Let's say it was like NCAA football. You just go for it on 4th down just because you knew, just no matter what, you were comfortable with whatever chaos came after that.
Yeah.
That's what this feels like. Kirby was fine. Like, you know what? I'm ready for the worst. Like, if we don't get this, whatever comes after that, I have the guys who can go get it. That's just a mentality.
There's almost like to that point when you're a player, right? Like when you're like let's be honest. Like these are some of the most competitive people on the face of the planet that are playing at Georgia right now. When you go and you tell them, hey, 4th and 1, chips are on the table. Y'all mess this play up. We're in a bad spot, right? They got a little bit of a they're going to want that play to succeed a little bit more. They're going to have they're going to try and come through for their coach just a little bit more. So like I think that like there is like kind of like almost like a. Like it's like kind of almost you hear it on the NCAA soundtrack when you play that game enough, you'll hear it say Kirk Herbstreit. Yeah, this coach, he must really trust his defense going for it on 4th down. So
he's comfortable.
It is one of those deals where I do think that it's Kirby Smart showing a lot of faith in the defense, but at the same time the offense, they're like, hey, we don't want to put our defense in that spot, so let's go ahead and go get this.
No, Nash. Hey, man, I agree with what you said, but I had some notes in this. I said Sark, the play caller, didn't get out coached. Sark, the head coach, got out coached today. It's because Sark doesn't have a pulse of the game. Kirby has a complete pulse of the game. Like he knows when it's time to do something to change the pulse, change the freaking momentum. He knows what to do. And everybody knows Kirby's one of the best defensive minds in all of college football, but he's not calling defensive plays all game. He's being a CEO of his team. He's not working on a damn assembly line. He's the guy in the booth, the CEO, who is gauging the pulse of the team and seeing what needs to get done. Sark said all week that he knows a special teams trick play is going to happen this week. Kirby does it every time he plays them. I know a special teams trick play is going to happen. And what happened? Special teams trick play that our team was not prepared for. Probably because our head coach was trying to figure out what he was going to call on the first and the second play once we got the ball back from a kickoff and not managing what the team is supposed to do. So Sark didn't get out coached from a play calling standpoint, but as a head coach, he does not have a pulse of the team. He got out coached from being a head coach. And there's got to be a point to where we start to look at this and say, we got a head coach that has learned from 2 of the best college football coaches of all time, Nick Saban being the GOAT, and then Pete Carroll. These guys were ultimate CEOs of their team. Nick Saban, outstanding everything, but defensive guy, Carroll, just both of these guys were outstanding at their side of the ball. But they weren't calling plays. They were managing the team and gauging the pulse. And Sark just does not gauge the pulse. And he doesn't have a dial on when to turn it up or when to ratchet it down or when to take out somebody who dropped 3 balls or, and put in somebody else and let them get some run or what. He just kind of goes with what he goes with because he's too busy trying to figure out what the next play is.
I mean, I disagree that him being a head coach and not calling plays is going to change anything on that play. I mean, like it's like Steve Sarkisian, obviously the broadcast, he knew that there was going to be a special team. So, I mean, he's obviously going to have some, emphasis on special teams. For
Our team wasn't prepared for it. Our team was not prepared for it.
I understand. But guess what? I don't think that him calling plays I don't think him focusing on what plays we're going to call, I don't think that's going to change anything. Because at the end of the day, the guy that's in charge of special teams is Jeff Banks. And honestly, if I'm watching my head coach kind of, step on the toes of the position coaches, I don't like that either.
Well, Saban's done it plenty of times.
I want you to make your hires on the guys.
Have you ever seen Saban with Lane Kiffin when Lane tries to get a little bit too pretty and he goes, "Run the effing ball"?
Well, what Kirby that sequence?
Yeah, but also the Nick Saban that's doing that has had multiple national championships and had a nice lengthy run in the 2010s.
I just think we need to stop.
He's got a lot of skins on the wall.
We gotta stop and let's put respect on Kirby's name and on Saban's name, because we always tend to do this. Well, we'll take a Sark, we'll take a Kip, we'll take people. Like, he's not Kirby. It's like, dog.
Yeah, Kirby's one of the greatest.
Anybody Kirby's like, we gotta stop doing that. I'm saying somebody to check. We need a Kirby, bro.
Yeah, there's only one Kirby.
Bro, there's only one Kirby, man. Like, we got to start acknowledging greatness for what it is and understand there's going to be gaps. And on a certain year and a certain time, like when all the pieces fall, like Sark can continue to develop and work and find a formula that works for him. But we got to stop comparing coaches who are figuring this out to guys who've just proven like, yo, man, I'm great.
Well, here,
the thing you thought Kirby was going to do was kick an onside kick. Ready for that? No fan was ready for that. Just psychologically, nobody was ready. So it's like.
Well, also the point is they present it like a normal, like a kid. Like you can't know it's coming unless you know it's coming. But what I thought that he did as a head coach was that sequence. Guys, we're going for it on fourth down. Then we need to. Now we call the play. That's the head coach calling, where it's like
that's the pulse of the game.
This is where we can flip it. This is where we can try to finish them.
I just never feel like we have a good pulse and a good gauge to ratchet it up. Like we always ratchet stuff down. I've never seen Sark just really just take it to another level. Usually Sark gets a lead and he what's that?
All gas, no brakes, huh?
Well, that's what it's supposed to be.
That's because of who Steve Sarkisian is. Steve Sarkisian, like ultimately what he wants to do, and because he's a broken record. Anytime he's talked about having a lead or has had a lead, and what he's shown us, he wants to run the football down the team's throat, and then he wants to shut you down on defense. And he's not like I've told people, if you want a guy that's going after style points, that's not Steve Sarkisian. Steve Sarkisian will never be the style points guy. If he has a win, if he's run the football for 5 yards a carry, he could have 15-point lead and he'll pass the ball 3 times in the second half. I mean, like Steve Sarkisian, if he could, he will just sit there and run the ball constantly. It's ironic that he's an offensive coordinator, because the way that he calls plays, he's calling it with a defensive mindset. Like he is a really defensive.
He's calling
mindset.
it with an NFL mindset. He thinks games are 28-21. Like that's the issue, is that he's trying to play NFL ball in college.
Yeah,
and that can get a little annoying. Before we keep going, though, guys, let's hear a word from Academy.
Any gate can be a tailgate.
I hit these super chats from everyone. Thank you all. Quentin blamed to Brennan Thompson. Yep. Not surprising. Somehow Brennan Thompson was involved. Yeah. Appreciate you, D. Herring. How do we fix this? Sad roster for NIL era at UT. Portal. And man, I better see a lot from this coaching staff in the portal. I better not have to do a single projection. If this guy develops, I better see the Monstars in the portal for me to have restore my faith. But it's the portal, man. It's been the portal since UTEP.
But that's why you have losses like this help with those types of decisions.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's also, Georgia beat us because they're better coached and they execute better, which means they're practicing better. And so it's just like, hey man, you can have all the players again. If you don't coach well enough to have your team buttoned up like that with the killer instinct, then who knows? Because we've had
a certain position group that did not help themselves tonight.
But here's the thing: where does the killer instinct come from? So where does the killer instinct come from? Where's it come from?
It really comes from practice. I mean, it's the coach in practice, but it's like you have to. It's about your execution. We do a lot, and when you do a lot, you just don't have the time to practice everything that well. I wish we'd pick like 7 passing concepts and 3 run concepts. Like take almost the air raid approach of like we just do this over and over. That's how you. But the killer instinct is going to come from the coach.
Let's just fire Sark. Let's just get rid of him.
Well, that's the thing is like the fire Sark thing, right?
Yeah, I don't think I'm saying fire him, but I'm just asking, where does the killer instinct come from?
My thing is this:
who enthuses that into the system?
You're not getting Kirby and you're not getting Nick Saban, so there's no guarantees that the next guy is going to be the guy to get you over the hump. You're taking a bet.
Also,
so it's
there's a lot of people not getting Kirby and Nick Saban over the next.
But that's my thing is the people that you want are proven national championship coaches, and there are a couple of them out there. You want Dabo. And so it's just really it's Kirby and Nick, and you're not getting them. So to me, it's like, look, man.
He said Mac Brown.
I don't think it's if you can guarantee me a better coach, sure, I would do that with any coach, but there's no guarantees there. So O-line was good enough tonight. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't O-line I was mad at. We ended up at 1.4 yards rushing again.
Yeah, we only had 10 carries from our running backs today.
But I was going to say that's some of that is sacks, and that's less rushing. But that was weird because the opening part of the game we were like getting legit interior runs, and I was like, "What is going on?"
And so, like that's where like I was really when after we scored, I was like, "Hey, let's stop them, get a third down stop, right? Get a punt, get the ball back." And because now, like, this was honestly one of these weird situations where we're down at the half, and it's like, okay, you know what? We had some success running the ball early on. We kind of went away from that, but the game is still in a close enough situation where if we just get a stop, get a score, and then we can just run the ball, right? And we can go back to being that team that Steve Sarkisian wants to be. Running clock, kind of being that professional team, but then the 2 4th down gambles come up, and then the onside kick, and then that's completely out the door. It felt like the Washington game almost. We run the ball well, but we can't.
Quentin, we are doing auditions, man. If you want to come in the portal, I know we probably won't be able to afford you NIL wise.
And honestly, too, you saw a lot of the targets. They went opposite side to Manny.
Yeah, they did not go at Manny.
Let's just be honest. Gilbo has not been the cornerback 2 that we needed him to be, stepping up into that spot from the nickel. It's just we're really missing the. Like last year, we had Jade Barron and Manny Muhammad, and both sides are locked down, and now it's only one.
Yeah, if only the portal was open and we could evaluate that ahead of time. Imagine a world where we don't convert 4th and 15 last year versus ASU and follow up with this season. Y'all want to hear a hot take that everyone gets mad at me for? That was targeting on Taft versus Arizona State.
You said it was?
It was. Everybody in the chat, say what's up. It was targeting. But yeah, for sure. Appreciate you, D. Harrington. All right. Man, y'all are super chatting today.
I know. You see it?
Didn't touch the ball again until 8:32 left in the 4th. Yeah, we were commenting on that in the text thread as well.
Yeah.
Offense didn't even get to see the field, man.
0 yards.
Time of possession
with 8 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
Time of possession.
Yep. But that's what good teams do, man. Like they just shut the door on you like that. Like that's just how it feels.
Homer, I'm with you. Could we have imagined Sark doing a sequence like that?
I mean, it did. Bama's the only time I saw it versus good talent.
And I know it's like I hate to keep comparing, but this is for the sake of it. We don't have a choice, right? Texas is a blue blood program. Texas fans, we all think we should always be in contention every year, right? Every year we should be in the playoffs, especially now that the playoffs is open up to 12 teams. So there should be no reason why we shouldn't be in the top 12 teams, right? So we have to kind of compare to the top, right? It just is what it is. But I can't imagine Sark doing what Kirby did today. 4th and 1, 4th and 5, onside kick, steal the momentum at home, put the foot on the throat, choke them out. I just can't see it. And maybe that's the problem, you know?
I mean, I think we have seen it, but the problem is we haven't executed the way that Georgia executed. And that, like, I mean, that's the thing is there's the flip side of the coin is if Georgia doesn't execute on that, people are looking at Kirby Smart saying that was one of the stupidest coaching decisions you've ever made in your life.
But
making that
Nash,
4th and 1, only up 4 points
but
versus
Nash,
a team that has all the momentum.
why does Georgia execute on it all the time? Or most of the time?
I understand, but I'm just answering your question. I believe Sark has had. I believe Sark has made many of those calls where he's gone for it on 4th down.
But we're in year 5. The difference
is we haven't executed. I mean,
but we are in year 5, wondering why we are not executing on plays that we think we should at least execute at a 50% clip. Like we're in year 5.
I mean,
this
isn't the NFL. You don't keep players for 5 years.
No. I'm not talking about keeping players.
Nowadays,
No. We're in year 5 of Sark's tenure.
No, I understand completely what you're saying.
Like this is the culture that is built, right?
I'm saying that there's freshmen and sophomores that haven't been here for 5 years.
I understand that too, but the culture that we're building is a good culture, but it's not a killer instinct culture. You know, and you can kind of see it. I mean, we see what a killer instinct culture is. That's what we saw today. That was a killer instinct culture. That was, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to put my throat. I'm putting my foot in your throat, and you're not going to breathe for the rest of the game. Like I've never seen us, minus the Alabama game, have a game where our coaches have had that killer instinct mind state to where we are not going to ease up. You know, so you said it. Once we get a lead, Sark's thing is, I just want to run the ball and get out of here and 28-21 game. I'm fine with that. But that's not good enough because they got good players too, right? They got good players too. And in college ball, things can swing around real quick, especially with good coaches. And Kirby's not a good coach. He's a great coach. He's a Hall of Fame coach, right? And so anytime Sark lines up with a coach that is of equal or better stature than him, we get into these situations where the games are too close for comfort or we lose, you know? And so, I mean, that's just the guy's honest truth. You know, I mean, I don't know Ryan Day last year, Ryan Day this year, Kirby 3 times in a row. We beat Saban, right?
DeBoer. DeBoer.
Kalen DeBoer.
Oh, yeah. He beat us twice, right? Twice. He beat us twice. All right. And so, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think that
Lincoln Riley. How many times did Lincoln Riley beat us?
I think what you're talking about is what you're looking for the kind of what Connor was talking about in the pregame. A lot of the mentality that the team has is built from the strength and conditioning coach. That's the coach that's really around the team fully year round. And that's the team that's the guy that the team is going to mold their personality around. Because that's kind of how it's molded in team workouts and all that. I think that, I mean, if you're upset about the lack of a killer mentality, I think that you need to look at Torrey Becton as the reason, because I mean, he's the guy that he's the guy that sets the heartbeat of this football team. Now, personally, I'm not upset about Torrey. I think that what we've seen is you see a team that I've seen a team that I can't recall outside of 2021 and even in 2021. I don't even think it's a matter of giving up. I just think that the defense was so stressed that late in games they just couldn't. They were playing way too many snaps and they just started to give up yardage and plays. I can't think of a single time that I've really seen Torrey Becton's team give up, right? And I love, like, to me, I know it's like a cliche thing, right? But I mean that's something that I personally love is seeing a team that they're always fighting. I mean, we've had a bunch of games where it's maybe the score doesn't, the end score, like a Florida, it doesn't necessarily represent, how close the game was. And there were multiple games like a Georgia last year where Texas is down 23-0 at the half, but we claw our way back to make it an 8-point game late in the third quarter, with a chance to, actually flip the tie, flip the switch, kind of what happened today. So, I mean, but I think that if you're looking for the killer mentality, you need to look at the strength and conditioning coach.
I think it's the head coach. 1,000%.
It's the head coach. I'm not buying it.
And I've seen it. I've seen it for 5 years, and it's like, look, close but no cigar. Like, I can give them props for fighting, but it's year 5 of that they don't completely roll over and then they lose. So it's just like, I get that if you're like a mid-major, but it's like, this is Texas. You have all the resources in the world. Like, you need to win. Like, I don't care about.
I know. I don't think that we can sit here and say that
you have to try. Trying is a prerequisite. Like, you should just be trying. So it says, to me, it's Sark, man. He's the head coach, and the mantra of all gas, no brakes doesn't match what we see on the field, and it really hasn't for 5 years.
Yep.
He needs to look inward. Changes need to happen on the staff. Changes should happen with Sark in his play calling. If he wants to get rid of Becton, I don't know. Like, I'm not in the room.
I mean, I know I don't want to get rid of Becton. I'm just saying, in my opinion, what y'all are talking about is y'all are talking about the strength and conditioning coach, because that's the guy that.
I don't think so.
That's when you're talking about a killer instinct of a team. I mean, Steve Sarkisian, and other than that, I mean, you're looking at Steve Sarkisian's play calling. You're not looking at the head coach.
No, Nash. No. I think.
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about moving to a running game, that is purely play calling. We're talking about not going for the not going for the throat, not stepping on their throat, not driving the nail in. That's play calling.
Sure. Yeah, there's a play calling element, like, of what if you're gonna call, like, you're gonna call the 4th and 1.
But it's the mentality and the pulse of the game. I think that's what we're missing, is the pulse of the game. Like, Kirby had the pulse of the game all game. He knew exactly what to do. He understood the assignment all game. He understood the assignment. I feel like Sark didn't understand the assignment.
Well, do you think he can ever do that?
I don't know. We've seen 5 years of it. I don't know. I hope he can. But I think this is where, I think Drew said this earlier. This is where Texas fans got to understand, right? Is that, yes, there's one Saban, there's one Kirby, and then everybody else right now, you're going to get in where you fit in. Texas fans, guess what? We need to be happy with having some 10-win seasons. Now with the playoffs, some 11-win seasons. And maybe every 3rd or 4th year, we're truly competitive to go for that championship. Every 2nd, 3rd, or 4th year, maybe. But every 3rd or 4th year, we're really, really competitive, to go win it all. But that's what's happening now throughout all of college football with NIL, because it's so level the playing field across the board. But I think Texas fans need to come to a realization that every year you're not going to be in contention to win it all. It's not built for that in this standard right now, right? And so maybe 10 wins a season is something that applauded, and hope that we get better to build upon for the next season, so that we can get to the 11-12 win and possibly go for a championship. Sark had us there in the playoffs for 2 years straight, right? All good things had to come to a minor end before we ramp it back up. Maybe this is the ramp back up year, right? And I think that's where Texas fans need to just actually realize we came into this into this season with a lot of expectations. Archman's first season of fully starting, number 1 team in the nation. Heisman hopeful Arch Manning. Defense is returning so many players. Went to the portal, got defensive lineman galore, right? But there's so many gaps that we didn't address, and we overlooked it because of all the hype that we thought this team was going to be because of what we had the last 2 years, right? Maybe these next couple years might be some gap years until we get to that next level, right? And I think that's where Texas fans have to realize. And maybe with Sark, over these next couple years, a 10-win season is be happy with it, because that might be the ceiling for this team, because we've seen over the last 3 or 4 years that, hey, we do play down to our competition and we do play up to our competition. There is no standard of I'm going to put my foot on your throat and I'm going to choke you out for the rest of this game. We just haven't seen that from Sark over a 5-year span. And it is what it is. I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with it, but that's his style of play, right? And so we just need to come to grips with it because we got this moniker, the all gas, no brakes, and that is not what we've seen over the last 4 or 5 years. It just isn't.
Thank you, Crispy. Coldest take, Sark is simply not as good of a coach as Smart. That's for sure. Slightly warmer take, he's not nearly as close to as good. I mean, he's 0-3. He's a coordinator he's a coordinator, and he needs to become a full-time head coach, and he does good with personnel. He does the CEO stuff well. He needs to get out of his own way, man. And I hope he's able to do that, but I don't know. I hope we give Arch his flowers. He showed up. Yeah, I'm not going at Arch at all this game.
Yeah, Arch played his butt off.
I mean, this sounds like a pretty damn big funeral session for a team to.
I don't know, man.
I mean, there's been a pretty good football program over the past couple of years. So.
Well, it just depends on what you're thinking about. Like, if you're good with like 10 wins and being relevant.
I mean, we made it to the semifinals the last 2 years. That's competing for a national championship.
Yeah,
as much as anybody else can.
Yeah,
great.
But it's if you're going really getting over the hump versus, fans are like, I want the national championship. I'm not really that like national championship because of the new era, but also it's just, look, if you can give me Kirby Smart, I'll take him. But it's just like there's no guarantee there's something on the other side of this that's beneficial. But I think Sark will need some type of, people say like with Mac, like some transcendent player, because Sark's been a front runner. Whenever he has more talent than you, he'll beat you. When the talent level equals out, he doesn't beat you. I mean, it's just, I don't need a 6 year of seeing this. I kind of see what it is. But to me, it's not like fire Sark. It's more just like know what you got, and maybe you can get some players to overcome it, or some type of philosophical core change to him.
Yeah, how does Sark get better from this? So that's one thing that he needs to understand. Like every great leader has to understand that you're not the best leader, right? There's somebody better than you. Every player who plays any sport, everybody, like, look, I'm in the military, right? So, I lead 421 people every day, but I know that like I'm not the best for person X and person Y and person Z every day. But my question to my folks is, hey, how can I make you a better person? And what can I do better to be a better leader for you? And sometimes maybe that's just that like internal check that maybe Sark needs to have. And there's nothing wrong with it. Like, just understand that, hey, I just got my butt kicked this year 3 times. A couple games I probably should have won. And there's something internally that's not going right. What do I need to do to step back and see what am I doing wrong here so that we can fix this thing for next year?
But I think he is introspective. Like, you'll hear him in the press conferences, like he takes accountability.
Yeah.
But it's like,
it's the action.
I've heard the same accountability like 8 times now.
Yeah.
And and here's the reality, if you knew how to fix it, you would have fixed it.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, what do we need to do? I don't need to hear accountability again.
Yeah.
Of like, what, I shouldn't have called that player or whatever. And I like that he does that. But it's just, to me, what's frustrating is this year, how unready we were to play, how heavily penalized we are, how we couldn't see the offensive line stuff coming. That stuff's worrying. And that's where, too, he's not play calling in the off season. So it's not like I can be like, you were focused too much on play calling, but it's just, it happened for whatever reason. And we'll just kind of have to see. We are hiring Quentin. You probably make more doing digital security, but I think you guys are getting $10 million contracts too. But
yeah, man. But give it up to Georgia. Georgia's clicking right now. I mean, they're clicking at the right time too. They're a good young team too as well. They're a very physical team, a very ferocious team too. Just hell of a coach team too as well. Give props to Georgia too as well. Georgia had a good game today. They had a damn good game. Is what it is.
Well, they're a better team.
Yeah.
And they showed it.
Team.
Yeah. You gotta give props to them.
That's just that, people. Like, we've seen this team all year. I don't know why we're yeah.
Well, that's the thing is like now I guess
the
people can like mourn officially because we had all that nonsense of like, well, if we went out or the offense is solved and Michael Taft's coming back and all that nonsense from last week.
Yeah, and McDonald's back this week, and the secondary we have nobody on the.
And so now people are just like they're
also
what we knew versus
Georgia, you still have a chance.
Yeah. I'm not giving any hope.
Yeah.
Well, 9-3, technically 9-3 could get
No, we're not.
No.
A lot of stuff has to happen for Texas to get in the playoffs at 9-3. It is what it is.
And then they'll
You
lose
are
immediately.
basically talking about me.
They'll lose immediately once they're in it. The guys knew they were going to lay the wood at Bama when they got off the plane. What's changed in prep, especially after 2 weeks rest? Georgia's better, but I do agree they came out flat. And when they played Bama, they had all off season.
Yeah.
That's different than the 2 weeks. We're not really that good off of a bye anyways. I brought it up, that I was like, is the bye really that beneficial? But we had McDonald and Tap out. So injuries wise, it was legitimately beneficial this time. But I don't like how we've played off of buys, but I don't think something changed. I mean, Bama's the only example we can hang. I mean, we're close to having no examples.
Yeah, that was 2023.
Yeah, we're having to hold on to one game years ago.
Yeah, I was at that game too. I was shocked, but that was 2023. I was in Alabama for that time. Yeah, is what it is.
Thoughts on concepts that worked well for Georgia, but not us. Switch release touchdown was covered when we ran it. PA tight end flat. Georgia wide open tight end with room to run. With us, Jack barely gets a yard. They were killing us on that quick to the flat stuff.
Sure
and Georgia has been good at that all season. Bubba's just been a damn good play caller, man. Like when I was watching their all 22, I just love their offense. Like there's layers to it. And then here's what I loved about them. On 4th and 1, there was no ego besides the play calling 4th and 1. They didn't try to run it down our throats. Texas #1 in the nation in power success rate on defensive line. What did they do? They got it outside.
Yep.
So it's like even though they made a confident, aggressive play, they were still very reasonable on what they called to get it. And the formation they used put all the tight ends to get everyone away from the perimeter. It was just well designed too. And so it was a ballsy play call, but it's not like they just called inside zone. They were like, we've been repping this all week. We know it'll break the defense. We know if we get in this crazy personnel set. So it's like they also had that advantage. But Georgia just their offense is really good. I'd have to look, Kyle, holler at us later in the week whenever I go back through the all 22. I'll look more at the scheme and really kind of the nuts and bolts on these post games. I don't have time. I'm just kind of looking at it from a wider point of view than what exactly happened on these plays. But I appreciate you, Kyle. All righty. Got more chats here. Not going to beat good teams without a run game. Sure. A lot of teams don't run well versus the top echelon, but still we kind of end up in, like I said, like 1.4. Now that's, again, context. We didn't run a lot sacks, but still, we can't get over 3 yards per rush against this Georgia team. Not a lot do, but it's that's a little frustrating. Do you think him being the play caller prevents him from holding players accountable?
Yeah.
No. Like he's pretty intense. Like behind the scenes, like Sark's pretty intense guy. Like he'll like chew you out for real. He can. Yeah. Like, so it's not that. It's not like he's soft. I do think he hyper fixates on certain things, like, being obsessed with 12 personnel and not letting that go. And then he decides Ryan Wingo's the #1 receiver on this team, and I totally disagree with that. And I want to see the ball to Mosley. And Wingo had a good second half, but there was nothing in the first half that showed you that Wingo was going to have a good second half. He did, but if we were going back to that moment, that's a weird decision. And so it's things like that. I think he just gets obsessive. Remember with Worthy, where he was just like deep ball to Worthy no matter what. No matter what.
Yeah.
So he just kind of hyper fixates on certain players or schemes. And that's what can annoy me about Sark's play calling. And he doesn't always learn his lesson there. I thought we were seeing a little bit. They played more spread. I'll give him that. I think the screen things are getting a little played out.
They are.
Now he's hyper fixated on screens, right? Now it's got to be all screens and Wingo. So he does that. He doesn't just really the game just doesn't come for an offensive play caller. He doesn't take the game in well. He doesn't feel the game. It's like you're talking about from the head coach. I'm talking about purely from an OC doesn't feel.
Yeah.
It's like he decides before he's like, this drive, we are going to run it. Regardless if you can or not. This drive is going to be screen. It's like everything is so predetermined almost from the week of game planning is he just doesn't absorb the game. He doesn't answer. He doesn't take what's there. It's all these kind of predestined things, whether they work or not.
Yeah.
Homer,
I do think he's limited with this team, though, on how deep he can go.
Yeah.
a little bit.
Into the playbook as far as that. I mean, you kind of have to run with. You can only run what they run well, and yeah, these guys show they don't do a lot well.
I mean, it's Drew. It's hard to do a lot offensively when you're not getting good offensive line play.
Y'all said go Dogs. Man, I've been sad since UTEP. Like, if you think my realization was versus Georgia, like, dude, I've had literal months. I'm tired. I'm tired because I'm old now, and anything past 9:30, I'm like, I gotta just go to sleep.
I tell you, man,
sadness isn't the word. It's more of I've gone through the grieving process. As soon as I saw UTEP, I was like, okay,
yeah, we're exhausted. That's it.
I've been on acceptance for a while.
We watched Georgia film last week. I was like, yeah, this ain't.
This ain't it.
Yeah,
this ain't it.
This ain't the week.
Once I saw their film, I was like, once we did our deep dive, I was like, yeah, this ain't it. Not this year.
You guys wanted the SEC. We're in the championship.
Georgia's not the SEC, but Georgia, we gotta stop calling that too.
I know they say Alabama and Georgia's the
SEC. Every time Georgia or Alabama plays,
we've been pretty good against the SEC.
Yeah, I mean,
you're right. The elite, that's where we have to get over. But it's the conference as a whole.
We could lose to K-State tomorrow. Trust me.
Yeah, that whole thing. The best teams are the SEC. All right, so 1.4, like I said, yards per rush, consistent whenever we play good teams. Can't really do much of that.
That's true.
For the context, penalties, 9 for 58. Not surprising. I know people were, not happy about Georgia not getting called. Man, whatever. Like,
not even close to a ref.
Yeah, it's like
not even.
I don't care. Like, and this has been one of the most penalized teams all season. Like, Texas does this. Should Georgia have been called more? Sure. But that wasn't the factor of the game.
Would it have changed anything? No, because they won on 2 4th down conversions and an onside kick. Those aren't penalties. Well, actually, the offsides was, but
Roberson, you're killing me, dog. You're killing me on returns,
dude. I swear to God, Jeff Banks looks like he wants to murder him. Jeff Banks, actually, dude. I swear to God, Jeff Banks. You see him he'll take a couple steps the opposite direction before he starts yelling at him. Like, he understands. I got cameras on me and I can't touch these guys.
Banks was livid, boy. He was livid. When they said 24,
looks like he's
I heard him
grab the face mask.
Dude, when they threw the flag, I didn't even
sitting there like that.
I knew it was Roberson. I saw a flag on the field. I didn't see Roberson. I knew it was going to.
Yeah, if it's special teams and there's a flag, 24.
Yeah, it's 24.
It's always 24. It's never. I hate to throw people under the bus, but I mean at this point,
after the 19th time, dude, go under the bus.
It's like the Cam Williams false starts. Okay.
I was gonna say, like, Quentin's like, it's always him. I know. Like, I'm not gonna get mad at one player one time, but seriously, man, you're being paid money. Like, quit. These aren't cute little kids doing it because they love the university anymore. Like, you're being paid, man.
The thing is, you practice this stuff, dude. Like, you practice this all the time. Like, this should be fixable. Like, this should not be a common thing. Like, it should not happen.
Yeah, I know.
Here's my thing, though. Here's my thing. We've seen the same thing for 3 years with him, right? Why is he still out there?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. And then he's out there like
that means the option behind him is worse, which is a sad thought.
Yeah, man, it's killing me. Before we keep going, guys, let's hear a word from Academy. Let me get perked up, guys. It's Christmas time. The holiday season is here, and Academy Sports and Outdoors has the legendary gifts you need at undefeatable prices every day. Shop in store or online at academy.com to save on gifts on everybody's list. From football jerseys and basketball hoops to fire pits and deer stands, the most wonderful time of the year happens here. This Christmas, give the gift of fun from Academy Sports and Outdoors. Got some good stuff here, guys. Do not miss out. Go to your local Academy.
There's Goodman.
All right. Anything? Was there anything that stuck out? I know penalties people were focused on, but 2 sacks, not crazy. Georgia doesn't get a lot of sacks this year, but whatever. 2 sacks, fine. Third downs. This is something, right?
Oh yeah.
2 for 12.
I think
Something we saw in the
yeah.
early part of the year too, right? We've seen penalties, third downs, all the stuff that I sound the alarm bells on, and everybody says we'll get better at.
No, but not just this year. For the past 2 years too. I mean, we were horrible on third down the past couple years.
Red zone's improved.
Tonight's third downs were weird because a lot of that, Archman. I swear, when I do the Archman air play, I'm gonna break stuff.
Oh yeah,
he was putting the ball on the money.
No, he was dominating.
He was putting the ball on the money, and they were dropping them. And I can't like, and a lot of that 2 for 12 is just straight up drops.
Yeah.
So like it's hard for me to eat it's hard for me to even look at that 2 for 12 and say, hey, the team did bad. There's a specific
group. The team did bad.
But there's a specific
as a whole
is responsible for that.
The quarterback was getting the ball there, but the team as a whole was not executing. Yeah, that was a perfect pass, from Arch to Moore. It just went straight through his hands, man.
You know what that one was? That was the Parker Livingstone pass to Oklahoma on third down. That was the same pass just on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
Good woman 121. If Texas and Oklahoma didn't come to the SEC and benefit and get momentum off the brand, Texas would still be a 6-5 team. So it is the SEC. Ask Vandy. Appreciate your chat, good woman. Disagree.
We'd have a pretty damn good record this year in the Big 12.
Ask Vandy what?
If Texas and Oklahoma,
I know I don't understand what we're asking.
SEC and benefit and momentum off the brand, Texas would still be a 6-5. That makes no sense. I mean,
she was talking about because the person was like, "Well, or you guys wanted the SEC," which is they only show up to say that after like a Georgia loss. They don't say welcome to the SEC. I mean, who have we lost to? Georgia and Florida.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with
everybody else in the SEC has been beat. So it's just like, I don't know
matter
what
of
that
fact,
thing is.
What does that even mean?
Unless your name's Georgia, you can't talk to us. You can't talk
Georgia
to us.
and Florida. That's it.
So it's and like Texas has been a top 5 recruiter prior to that. Now, is there a benefit to going to the SEC? 1,000%. I'm not saying like I want to be in the SEC. It's a great conference. The games are much more fun too. Like
they are.
So I'm not saying like the Big 12 and the SEC are equals. But it's just whenever you lose to Georgia, they're like, "See, you wanted the SEC," and it's like Mississippi State's not that. They don't say that after Mississippi State, right? It's just a weird mindset.
Right.
So that's where it doesn't make sense. I think the
argument
that's my biggest thing about the SEC.
Baseball.
No, so that is my biggest thing about the SEC. So my wife's from Alabama. She's a big Alabama fan. And they do the whole SEC chant. And I told her I just can't do that. I didn't go to the SEC. I went to Texas. You know what I'm saying? So I'm Texas, hook them. I'm never gonna root for the conference, but that's just me. Maybe I need to be SEC'd, I don't know, but
I don't have conference. I don't have conference pride.
No,
but I do want to be in the SEC. Like I'm not denying it's the best league, 1,000%.
Yeah,
but that whole concept that it's like as soon as we lose to Georgia, but while beating literally every other team we faced in the SEC, it's just beat Florida last year. So it's just that's where it doesn't make any sense.
You gotta see Quentin's comment.
But that's that whole SEC side of it is really annoying. All right, let's look at more stats here. Wingo ended up at 62 yards, better second half. Was playing more like a receiver, using his hands to catch, not letting things bounce off his chest.
Yeah,
that was positive. But we had injuries. We had injuries going more early, and then we went away from that. I don't even know why we brought him in. And I'm not saying that because of injuries. Like I'm just saying, like, why did you bring him in if you're not going to actually?
I'm upset for injuries, bro.
Me too. He thought he was going to be Gunnar Helm. Like he thought he was going to get.
He's not as good as blocking as I thought he was going to be. But man, he's underutilized.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. It's on the calls. It's not. I'm not mad at injuries at all.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not mad at. I'm not trying to act like I'm mad.
You said injuries. Yeah.
Who ended up? Ty Anthony Smith had a good amount of tackles, had a sack. Simmons had a sack. Only 2 total sacks. Pretty lame.
Good woman says Texas will always be a stepchild because we don't appreciate it. Okay, whatever.
Y'all don't appreciate it because y'all didn't build it.
Yeah. Arkansas was the Southwest Conference too, so I guess they were in it, and Missouri and Texas A&M, and the top ranked team in your conference now didn't build it either. So yeah.
Also, weren't we didn't we win the regular season last year? I know we won it in baseball.
Yeah.
First year in the SEC.
It is what it is. Interesting. I'm gonna tell you who popped off on like the game today.
Thank you for the
26.
Thank you for 10. Thank you for 10.
Wait, thank you for the $5 holler. Actually, 15.
Hey,
She gave us 15.
Yeah, I was gonna say I appreciate the super chat though. I
Appreciate the
agree,
super chat, though.
Thank you for the $5 holler 3 times.
That's real.
Hey man, 26. He's good on film, man. I like Smith, man. I like Smith a lot. He comes on fast.
All right, going forward, what do y'all think? I'm still at 8-4. I haven't changed. I haven't adjusted through all the nonsense hype of the past couple weeks. It's an 8-4 team. It's been an 8-4 team. Arkansas can still catch you because they can score.
Yeah.
Not today though. That game sucked. I was having to watch because we have Arkansas next week. I was watching LSU, so that game was boring. Van Buren got to start for LSU. They lost. But Arkansas can score generally, so everyone's a threat when you have the floor of this team. Of course, A&M had an awesome game today. That was a lot of fun. Drew called it. Good job, Drew.
That's a good game.
That comeback. I'm not surprised if Texas rises up and punches someone in the mouth, but to me, it's an 8-4 team. You'll drop one of Arkansas and A&M.
You got this, Homer. 9-3, baby, with a chance to go to the college football playoff.
Hey, look, hold on. No.
It can happen.
No, you call them crazy. Look, it's really gonna depend on what the committee shows us on Tuesday. Because what's gonna happen is
you're gonna drop like a stone.
So we're gonna drop like a bag of rocks.
Honestly, not if you listen to what Joel Klatt's been saying, right?
Nash, we lost by 25 points.
Okay, all right. If you don't want to hear it, then
no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No,
go ahead. I know you're good. We lost by 25 points, man.
They're gonna.
I understand, but
we're not getting into the playoffs. I know that there's technical. I know that there's technical paths. We're not getting into the playoffs.
No,
it's with how the committee's viewing the Ohio State game. But
here's my thing. They punt it. So here's what happened. Texas was number 1, had a lot of hype. You lose to Ohio State, they're like, whatever. You lose to Florida, they drop you like a stone because A, you lost to Florida, but B, they're punishing you for like embarrassing.
The playoff wasn't ranking at that point.
The AP and the playoff are like almost exact, and it's not that crazy. And then they're gonna start believing Texas again a little bit, which they did, and then Texas loses by 25. they're gonna knock you out of it. OU beats Alabama.
A&M comes back.
What they're trying to do is they're trying to encourage more. They're trying to encourage more games like the Ohio State game versus Texas. So right now, from what Joel Klatt's been told behind the scenes, and this isn't 100%, but they're already moving towards a model where a game like Texas losing a game like Ohio State, that would actually give Texas a positive points on the schedule when there's like a point scale for every game that you play. That would give Texas positive points versus had we beat Louisiana Monroe at home, we're going to lose points for a game like that. The thought process is right now, from what Joel Klatt's been saying, that what's been floated around with a 9-3 Texas is that if Texas loses a game between Georgia and A&M, now granted the 10-35 could have knocked that off, right? But going into it, it's if Texas is 9-3, how they're going to approach this is they're going to approach it as the Ohio State loss. That's game 1. We're breaking in a brand new quarterback. They're willing to write that loss off almost as like it almost didn't happen. And Texas, they're going to see Texas as a 2-loss team. I'm not saying it should happen, right? But I'm just saying that's what has been said with the committee and how they're looking at this Texas game. And if you look at the loss, I mean, if you're going to lose a game, you'd rather lose this one as opposed to the A&M game, I mean, you have a chance that if Texas goes 9-3, right? That means Texas wins versus Arkansas, and then unless A&M drops a game versus Samford, which they won't, Texas is going to have a top 3 win at the end of this. The last thing that you remember about Texas is a top 3 win over A&M at home, and that might be enough to get the Texas over the hump for the committee. I don't necessarily think it will.
Nash, you had to assume that teams in front of us are going to lose. A lot of them. A lot. Like a lot. Texas is going to go into the college football playoff.
Texas, if they're considering Texas as a 2-loss team, you don't.
They're not. They're considering they're a 3-loss team. It is. We can't consider them as a 2-loss.
Who's told you that? Because Joel Klatt's actually talking to legit people.
Nash, we're going to be.
But that's what I'm saying. But if
Joel Klatt's saying it, I believe what Joel Klatt's saying because Joel Klatt has legit connections inside.
If we had a close loss, that would have made sense.
Yeah,
tonight,
but we lost by 25.
Well, and that's where I said that the 10-35 loss could have very easily thrown.
There's nothing to stand on here, like for Texas. Like the argument that would have worked last week is if Texas would have even lost by just even the spread, 7 points. Like it would have still been, hey, hard fought. Like this is not.
I mean, it's honestly just going to depend on what the committee.
But hey, I want us to go
if we drop down to 15,
9-3. We can absolutely do that.
I mean, if we drop down to 15, beating a top 3 A&M team.
You think we're only going to drop 5 spots? You think we're only going to drop 5 spots?
Where are we at now?
I don't know.
We're at 10. You think all we're going to drop is 5 spots?
I don't know where we're. I don't think. No, I think we're going to drop more.
We're going to drop 12
that's
to 15 spots.
That's what I'm saying. It's
12
spots. Watching.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
if they do, look, I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it if they announce it.
You're acting like I'm saying it's going to happen.
But I'm saying if they announce it and say our criteria is to incentivize better games and then announce it, but if they're just talking about it behind the scenes, then I don't know. But no, Texas is not going to make the playoffs in my humble opinion. There is 10 to 12 teams, or there are 10 to 10 and 2 teams, bro. We are not making it. And then Good Woman is mad.
I want to reiterate, I'm not saying that we were going to make it. I mean, I was just talking about a potential scenario from what Drew was saying.
No, that possibility was really presented in the idea that this game was actually close and competitive, and it wasn't. So it's thrown out the door. You can't window dress this loss.
No.
Yeah, you lose by 3, and it's a nail biter, but it was a kind of a boring game, and we lost that much. It was not that enjoyable.
Got killed.
Y'all were cheering, smiling, excited when you first found out that you were coming to the SEC. Now y'all acting like it don't benefit Texas. Very ungrateful. We once again didn't say it didn't benefit Texas. No. We said that it's not the whole reason for Texas's program success. If you learn about the history of the Texas program, it had found prior success.
Yeah.
Once again, though, thank you for the super chat.
That's
all right, guys. Give your season predictions, though. Y'all can't cop out of it. Nash, are you going 9-3?
Yeah, I mean, Nana will laugh at me again, but
no, I'm not laughing. Hey, it could happen. We can be 9-3. I said after week 3 that the team is generally who you are, like after week 3. And I told Homer this. I said this is a 7-5 team, right? I said we might be able to get to 8-4, and I said this after week 3. And so 8-4 was kind of like my kind of pinpoint too, but I did say that this team looks like a 7-5 team, and if things go right, we can be an 8-4 team. And so hopefully things go right, and we split one of these games, or hey, win them both. I want us to win them both. I want to go 9-3, but this team looks like it's an 8-4 team.
Coach Charlie says 8-4. Drew, where are you at, man?
I think we're still 9-3. I thought we were going to lose this game anyway, so it didn't look great. At the final score, but I don't think it makes us any worse of a team if we would have lost by 5. I think there's some things that could have been different to make it look different, but I still think we can go win these next 2 games. And then actually, after watching A&M today, I feel even stronger about that possibility.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope Archie doesn't catch us, man. That
was
like
what I'm
a
worried
good
about.
Offensive performance too.
That's what I'm worried about.
We've been playing some of them to the wire.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Shout out to the Georgia fans. Shout out Georgia, man.
Yeah, they played their butts off, man.
Yep, played their butts off. Good
Great
game
team.
for them again.
Great
From
team.
them again. So
Great team.
yeah, it is what it is. All righty, everybody. I'm Texas Homer. That's Nick from Nino's Corner. Go check out his channel. That's Nash from Nash Talks Texas. Go check out his channel as well. And then Drew, I don't know, just mail him or something. Just post your address in the comments. Maybe find him on Inside Texas. Y'all should go there. Join right now. $1 for 1 month. You guys can tell I messed up my words because I'm tired. We'd love to see you over on the board, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. We will see you bright and early in the morning for the rewatch. We will have rewatched the All-22, get a little bit more in depth on what happened in this here loss. Everyone, have a wonderful evening. This was brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Goodbye.